Okay, there we go. Hey guys, welcome to October. Yay for the team call. Excited about tonight. So we're going to chat about a couple of things, but before we kind of delve into all the things we're going to chat about, I would love it if we could have a time of sharing wins from September. If anyone felt like September was a little weird, you're not alone. September was its own month, and you have months like that, okay? We've had a lot of transitions in the month of September. I know a lot of families are figuring out school at home or virtual online school, homeschooling for the first time, or anything and everything in between, or you're maybe back to work or whatever if you're a teacher. So welcome to the new normal and figuring out how to do life in whatever, 2020 in October, right? Or in September. So I would love it if you have a win for September to drop it in the comments. If you have a teammate that you want to shout out, to go ahead and shout them out in the comments. I'm going to shout out a couple people really quickly. So I had a level 1 go silver. Her name is Jory, and I just wanted to shout out Jory tonight for going silver. That is super exciting. Also, Beth, who's going to share here in a minute, also went silver. Super proud of her. And if you had some silvers, shout them out. That's super exciting. We had some fast start gold, at least one, actually maybe two. I know Jen Neff went gold and Veronica went gold, and she's growing a Mexico team, which is exciting. Do you want to shout out some of those people?
Let's see. What do you got here? Chelsea went ruby. Way to go, Chelsea. Hannah, senior ruby. Hannah Levi went senior ruby. Hector, my man Hector out in California, went senior gold. And he had incredible growth on his team in light of silvers. I'd have to count up how many there were, but it was 12, 13.
I thought you said 13.
In the month of September. So, and there was a lot of hosted events too. So that was something that is still exciting to do. I know that one thing I'm just going to say, I was going to say it the other night when we were on the call, but so this year has been kind of odd. The last live Plexus event, like corporate event we've done was when? Can anybody tell me? What was it? Super Saturday?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. So I think it's just kind of been an odd year, and I think that we need fellowship. Does anybody feel that same way, like real live people? I mean, the videos are great, but I like crowds. I like the energy of people and all that stuff. It's just exciting. So if Megan hasn't mentioned it yet, we'll talk about it a little bit tonight. We're going to do a sip and see sort of an event coming up towards the end of October, and we're just going to turn it into like a day event for anybody who wants to come, anybody who wants just to come and hang out and visit with real live people that you can see and touch and smell and all those things. Not to be weird, but you know what I'm saying, because I think we just get this. It's just, I like to be around people, and some people don't, and that's okay. But I just feel like we have a real need of just getting together. So we'll be talking about that here tonight as well.
Yeah, so save the date. That's October 24th.
Right.
And it's not going to be like the Fall Fest last year. So just to let you guys know, so you like lower your expectations a little bit, it's going to be like, hey, the Goffs are opening up their house, come over, we'll chat Plexus, and we'll have food, it'll be fun.
Hang out.
But we just had a baby and it's a little crazy, right? So all that to say, if you want to come and you're not local, there's hotels nearby. There's a little adorable cottage in town. It's like an Airbnb that different people have rented before when we've hosted Plexus events. Our old house, it's fully functional. You just have to bring an air mattress. So FYI, keep that in mind. So you can be telling your people, if it's a come and go thing. So if you're only able to come in the morning, you'll be able to see how we do a sip and see. We'll have lunch. We have an afternoon of training, and it's kind of like a work with me power afternoon. And then invite your family over. We'll have a cookout at night. So it'll be fun. That's October 24th.
Yes.
Also, I wanted to shout out Selena. She was at our last open house, farmhouse, what was it? Farmhouse open house, Sip and See. And she went silver last month, which is exciting. And her sponsor, Gretchen, ended up one away from super silver. So I know she'll hit that this month. And so many people earned the September incentive. So if you earned that or you had a teammate earn it, shout it out in the comments. That's super exciting. I know Justin had his highest points ever.
Yep.
So that was a record for him. That's exciting. I personally sponsored 8 people in the month of September. Craziness, isn't it? But all that to say, what we do now impacts what happens in 90 days. So if you're faithful now, expect in 90 days for you to have a harvest to reap. So just as an encouragement to not give up when there's slow months, or don't get weary in well-doing, because there's more people to help. I know I deal with some scarcity mindset in terms of continuing to personally sponsor people, because part of my thought is, how do I take care of all these people? But my thought is, you know what? I have time to help more people with their health, with their wellness, with starting a business. And so why would I be done? Right? So, and also, I know we always talk about the power of 3, but I've been really challenged and encouraged by a lot of training that I've been participating in since December with Brooke Hemingway. And she challenges everyone to, instead of going for 3, to go for 6. And so I've up-leveled a little bit in terms of my own personal sponsoring game, and have been working to add 6 every month. It doesn't always happen that I add 6, but that's my goal. And so if you haven't posted your sticky notes, get your sticky notes posted. Pray over those empty sticky notes, because God can direct you to people that need what we have. And also it keeps it in the front of your radar, because I did want to share that 2 prongs, 2 specific things we have to be focusing on in our business. Those businesses are recruitment and duplication, personal sponsoring and personal duplicating. And guess what happens when we do that personally? Our teams will follow suit, right? And the other thing too is it gives us specific ways we can train our team, because we're relevant. We're not just saying, oh, so-and-so said, but it's actually like, hey, here's a message that's working for me. Hey, here's what I'm doing to help people get a +1, or here's what I'm doing to help someone go silver. These are the specific steps. So let's see. Okay, we're just kind of looking back through those wins. Yeah, hosting events. We had a lot of different events hosted in the month of September. Also wanted to say, can you grab that book on the very top of my shelf? If you are a new ambassador on tonight, we want to shout you out, or well, we want you to shout yourself out and say welcome. If you're new to work in the business, or maybe you are just restarting your business, we want to gift you with a book tonight. Or if you're just an existing ambassador and you do not have this yet, so I have a whole stack with different people's names on these. I have not mailed them out yet. Keep thinking that I'm going to see all in person, different ones of you. But this book, The 7 Laws of Network Marketing, it's a quick little read. I've done some trainings on this. It's excellent. If you'd like one of these, send either Justin or I a message and say, hey, can I have one of those books? We would love to send one to you in the mail. So just keep us posted if you would like one of those, because it's a really quick read and it's encouraging. So we want to encourage you on your journey with having a good book in your hands.
So real quick, Anthony Powell, the guy who co-wrote this book, some of you have heard me talk about him before. He's an amazing network marketer, maybe one of the, not the best, but one of the top 5 in network marketing history, possibly. He's a great guy, and he gifted our team 200 of these books. So for free, he just gave them out to us. He just asked, if you do rate it, go to Amazon and leave a review for the book. But it's a great book. And I'll just say really quick, one thing, I was talking with him recently, and he's saying that right now, as far as network marketing goes, like there's not been a better time ever. He's like, he's like, Justin, this is the prime time to build. He said it doesn't get any better than this. So that's coming from a network marketing legend who has the numbers to put behind his words. So he's saying now's the time. He's like, now's the time for your Plexus business. So I share that with you as an encouragement, coming from one of the best the industry's ever seen. So be encouraged with that.
Yes. Okay. So if you're just popping on, feel free to shout out your personal wins for the month of September and also your teammates wins. So let's blow up the chat. I know all of you have at least one win, even if it's a health win. Tell us what it is. You want to answer that question really fast?
There was a question really quick. Where's it at?
You have to scroll all the way down.
What happened? It says, why does he say that? I think it's just the timing. I think that network marketing, one thing is it does really well in economic downturns. The economy has been put on stop in the United States. So for many different reasons, I think it's all political personally, but anyway, the economy has come to a halt. It's coming back. But he's just saying right now there's a lot of people that are concerned, and right now and during those economic downturns, network marketing as an industry does well. Historically, it's done very, very well. Right now in the middle of whatever's going on, people are, I refuse to say pandemic, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. But in the middle of whatever is going on, whatever we're supposed to be afraid of this week, people are concerned about their health. I've been saying this the last few months, like this season that we're in right now is a gift. Like this is building season. And so he's excited. I'm excited. You should be excited. There's a lot of people that are looking for what we have. I've been saying that for the last I've been saying that since the beginning of the whole 2-week shutdown we were supposed to have back in March. Now here we are in September or October. It's still shut down. People are still trying to shut us down. And I'm still saying the same thing. This is the absolute best time for network marketing. And people's numbers are growing. People are adding to their teams. People are promoting. People are getting lots of silvers on their teams. They're earning Leaders Retreat, earning prizes for Leaders Retreat. It's just the best. It's just a great time to be in this business opportunity, for sure.
Yeah, and I'll just say, hey Jenny, thank you for asking that question. It was a good question, and sometimes Jess and I forget to repeat because we have been talking about this a lot, but we forget that not everyone has heard us say that, which is a good reason why we should repeat these things, because this is the other thing. There's a lot of people concerned about their health right now. There's a lot of people restarting Plexus. So if you've been around in Plexus for a while and you have recruited maybe hundreds of people like we have, there's a lot of people that aren't currently ordering. Go swing back around to those people. I re-signed 4 people within 48 hours because I swung back around and did like a little customer appreciation special. So they either qualified for free shipping if they were a current, they had a current AWH, like annual renewal fee, or if they hadn't ordered in like a year or 2, then they qualify to get cleared out completely from the back office and they can re-sign again. Remember, if you've already recruited them once, they're easier to recruit the second time, because you've already talked to them. They know the benefits, all the things. Sometimes they just need a little bit of a encouragement to get restarted. So FYI, those ads this month for that 369 incentive can come easily because you can upgrade a customer that you've had for a while, swing around to your old customer base, swing around to your old level 1 ambassador base of people that maybe aren't currently ordering. So just FYI, if you need wording for that, I'd be happy to share what I had shared. I've also done like a questionnaire / survey. That's really, really great. That's worked excellently for me. I can put that in the comments when I kick it back to Justin to share a couple of things. So also in terms of network marketing and Plexus doing really well right now, a lot of people's, they're just thinking about health and wellness in general. And then 2, people are thinking about a plan B. They're thinking about how can I create another stream of income? And our Plexus business is a great way. And people have been sitting on this. Some people have been sitting on their Plexus business, like a potential Plexus business, for years, but they've just never done it. And I'm actually going to look up a quote that I loved. I just remembered that I saw it today by Emily Gibson. Did anyone see it? It was hilarious. I would rather be rich because I was curious than broke because I was skeptical. Fraser Brooks. So you can quote that one. I thought that was hilarious. So, okay. Alrighty, I am going to actually, let me see if I see Beth on here. Beth, I see Beth. She is one of the new silvers on the team, and I love hearing other people's stories, and I think you guys do too. So we're gonna have a couple people share tonight, so it's not just Justin and I droning on and on, just to mix it up and make it some interesting so you guys can hear some new relevant stories of people that are seeing changes in their health and also helping other people to do the same. Beth, are you good to go to unmute? Actually, I'll ask to unmute you. Oh, there you go. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
All right. Well, I guess I'm green. So as my son would say, green means go. He does it at stoplights. So yeah. So really, I want to thank Megan for asking me to share. Is just talking, but I do love sharing my story. And I have to apologize. Our internet service where I live, we live out in the country, and so it is just terrible. So I'm out in our shed, and so I'm standing kind of outside. So if you hear the night sounds like the crickets and any owls, yeah, I'm outside. So I apologize for any of that, or for the echo that you may hear. We are getting our internet upgraded, so that is good. But Megan had asked me to share my health story and what I've been noticing about, in my health so far since I've been taking Plexus, and then also how I've helped a few people so far. So I'll just make this short and sweet. My health story started back when I had my son, 3.5 years ago. And I just my hormones never really recovered from having him. And my gut, it never really recovered from that either. And 6 months in, I could tell, after having my son, I'm like, something's off. And I, just let it go. And I thought, well, in about a year, I'll heal myself. And no, 2 years down the road, I was like, I don't feel good. My mood swings were just, we're on a roller coaster for mood swings, and they were just not where they should be. And, I still honestly looked probably about 6 months pregnant, and just from the bloating and inflammation, and I did not feel good. And I work out. Like, I love working out. I worked out my whole pregnancy, up until 24 hours until I had my son. And I was like, this cannot happen to me. There's no way. But anyway, it can. And it's probably been 4 or 3.5 months ago, one of my friends had posted a picture of her. She did a side-by-side of her using Plexus for, I think she's been on it maybe a couple of years. I'm not quite sure how long she's been on it, but I was like, oh, that's my goal. That's what I'm striving for, is to reduce, the inflammation and get the gut. My gut, I have got to get it in check, because just my hormones and my mood swings were just, I was like, I couldn't take it any longer. So I was like, well, let's just jump on in and let's just try it. And, we'll see where it takes me. And so anyway, I tried it 2 weeks in, felt great. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. 2 more weeks went by, and I thought, what's going on? I had no energy. But then I kept going, and, heard from Megan, and she recommended a few things. And now in my 3rd month, I have never felt better before. Like, even I feel better even now than when I was working out, before I had my son. And so that's there, to hear testimonies and to see people, it's just fantastic. And now, that's what what I've been noticing about an improvement in my health is more energy, sustained throughout the day. And I'm sleeping better. My mood is, we're more level versus being on a roller coaster. And so, yes, have loved the product so far. And I I'm just doing the triplex. I haven't tried anything else. So that's just where I am on that. And how I've helped a few people so far. So again, asked me if I'd be willing to share on Facebook, and I did. I love helping people, and I love people, like health is my thing. Like I love health and seeing people healthy and, striving for their best and feeling good. And so, when she asked me to do it, I was a little bit skeptical. I'm like, oh, what are people going to say? They're going to make fun of me. But you know what? I'm so glad I did, because again, hearing from a few people, they're ready to start their health journey and to start feeling better and, to lose the weight, to heal the gut, whatever they need, whatever their health journey is. And so I'm so happy to have a few people on my team, and we are going to rock this, and I'm excited to see where they go. So that's kind of my story and where I'm at today.
That's awesome. Thank you, Beth, for sharing. You did such a great job. She shared her story live, or actually it was recorded because of her internet issues, but the event that we did, she shared her story with her friends and family that she invited to the little private Facebook group. It was super simple, but she was able to go beyond silver. Actually, she went silver before the event, just by talking to a few people and making a post on Facebook. But we do encourage people to make a post and then to do a little Facebook event, and even to offer to do those for the new people that get started, because people are excited and a lot of them are open to sharing. They just may not know what to say or what to do. So even if you help them by asking them what their health wins are or what their health goals are, and write up a little post, and all they have to do is put a picture with it and copy and paste it. So that's something that I do for people now. If they're willing to make a post, is I actually help them make one, write it up for them. And then offering to do those little Facebook events are great. There's a fall template one that we used for Beth that was super cute. And one thing that she said that I really tracked with is she's an exercise girl. And so, her story was actually reminding me that I was listening to Brooke Hemingway say the same thing, where, you look to exercise and diet alone to, help your mood, help your energy, help your weight, help your all the things. But if your gut is not healthy and if your blood sugar is wonky and your hormones are whacked and maybe you're lacking key nutrients, it kind of doesn't matter how much you exercise or how great you are at your diet. There's still a lack. And so I think there definitely is, like Beth was sharing, there is a reason and a piece for supplements and how much it can help people's health. So Beth, thank you for sharing. I'm excited to see your continued health results, and also as you're continuing to help people with their health, just to see a lot of wins there. That's so exciting, and it's so rewarding. It's exciting to see that people have health change. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to switch gears here and talk for a minute about something that I was really thinking about the other day, which is we are in the last quarter of 2020, which means we might have the best 90 days left of 2020. And I am very, very excited about not just the next 90 days, but the beginning of the year is always big, right? It's huge for network marketing. It's really big for personal health and wellness. And so keep that in mind as you're finishing out the year, not to slack off, but to press in, and to know that you can take 90 days to revamp pretty much anything, to create momentum if you've been not doing much, or to sustain momentum if you're already doing the things. Even if you want to just up level in healthy habits, this is the thing. When you raise up and when you get disciplined in one area of your life, whether it's your business or your health or your finances or your personal exercise or whatever, spiritual or maybe spiritual disciplines, that lifts the float for every other area of your life. And you'll see positive changes happening when you take one step to choose to change in one area. So I just want to encourage you guys to really think through, what do you want to create in the next 90 days? Not just in October. I know that, I don't know if you guys felt the shift, just like the angels started singing when we went into October, because September was just kind of a weird month, right? I don't know if anyone else felt that. If you did, put a 1 in the comments or something, so I know that I'm not alone. But I felt like October was just like a different energy, a different vibe, different spirit behind October. And I know that October is going to be big, but also don't just set your sights on like, what can I create in 30 days? I mean, that's important because some of you need to make a rank up happen this month, right? Others of you, it may take you like a 90-day setup or a 60-day setup, and there's no shame in, lengthening the amount of time that you need to plan a rank up, especially if you're going for a larger rank up. Now, if you're going for silver, super silver, or gold, y'all can make that happen within a month, right? If you want to. For me personally, I just re-entered under myself. So for example's sake, I went Fast Start Silver my first month, and then I went Fast Start Super Silver in August. I really, really worked to, within all the life change that happened in September, really worked hard to go Fast Start Gold in September, but I missed it by 4 orders. So if I did a rambling live on that momentum group about when you don't hit your goals. So if you didn't watch it, you can go check it out, or you can just hear me say right now, sometimes we don't hit our goals. Sometimes we set a big goal that we fall short on, but guess what? That doesn't mean we quit. It means we pick back up where we left off and we revamp for the next month. So I will be going Fast Start Gold this month. And I did want to say there's a tracker. There's a really cool Fast Start tracker in your back office if you are new. And if any of you have new ambassadors that are working on the Fast Start program, I have till October 31st to hit Fast Start Gold. And so I liked that it tracks that for me in my new back office in my reentry legs. So just FYI, I thought that was super cool. Did you want to add anything real quick?
Right. Just about goals, because I really like goals. And so one thing I wanted to say really quick, Megan shared about setting a goal and not hitting a goal. I just want to say, if you hit every single goal you set for yourself, then you're setting small goals. Like
That's a quotable.
Well, it's true. I mean, now you should hit a lot of your goals. That's not what I'm saying, but your goals should stretch you a little bit. It shouldn't be, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning. Well, that's not much of a goal. I mean, it's great if you get up, but you need to have something to move you forward, to drive you forward. Your goals should stretch you past being comfortable to an area you have never, because a goal, the purpose of a goal is to typically get some place that you've never gotten before. So you have to do some things maybe that you've never done before. So a goal should stretch you. And if you don't hit a goal, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, you should take inventory maybe why you didn't hit the goal, but it's a goal.
You have to detach the meaning.
It doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means you didn't hit a goal. So reset the goal. Maybe take some inventory again why you didn't hit the goal. But, you shouldn't hit every single goal you set. I mean, your goals should be big. They should be hard. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you really fast about goals.
Yes, and so in terms of, I shared a little bit ago about the 2 prongs of your business that you really want to be focused on: personally sponsoring, personally duplicating. But we're helping everyone with that by hosting events. Okay, right. So you don't feel like you have to go create a bunch of graphics, create a bunch of content and all that stuff. Use the events that we're hosting to help yourselves grow your businesses. So there's always something for people to invite people to on the team. So right now we kicked off the 3-day challenge today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Thursday night, there's going to be a pop-up Zoom at 8 p.m. It's going to be really quick, blitzy, and we'll live stream it into that group. But we'll talk really quickly. If I have a couple health testimonies, we'll chat through a couple of the combos. We'll talk really briefly about the business part, and then we'll pop off. And we're going to do some sort of fun giveaway / special for like a 24-hour blitz. So just be aware of that. You can still invite people to it. If you have not plugged in all of your new ambassadors, all of your customers to that challenge group do it, because they'll get educated. They'll get a whole bunch of wonderful information that I wish I would have had when I started Plexus. Actually, even before I started Plexus, I would have been more informed to make a quicker decision if I would have been just had more knowledge, you know. So I love that we can educate people with that. Also, next week kicks off back to the normal schedule of Tuesday, Thursday health and business Zooms. And we're going to do, instead of doing the power hours during the day, we bumped them to the evening because we realized there was way too many options for power hours. People, I think, were getting overwhelmed with, all the things. So now we're just going to do one right after the Tuesday health Zoom, and then one right after the Thursday business Zoom. So I think the opportunity to pop on right away when the energy's high, when you're excited, and we're going to teach some follow-up skills, we're going to teach some reach-out skills, and we're going to do it together as a team. That will be super fun. They'll be co-hosted by 2 hostesses, so you'll hear perspectives from 2 different leaders on the team, and it's going to be great. So make sure you carve out time in your schedule. Have your hubby watch your kids for that hour and a half, those 2 nights a week, so you can work your business. And I promise you, if you plug into those consistently and you do the things and you learn the skills and you just get better at the things, it's not necessarily that one power hour is going to make or break your business, but the fact of you being consistent and placing yourself to basically be trained by different people, that you're going to hear tiny little things that you can implement into your business. And sometimes that's one little shift after another, little tiny pivot or a little tiny tweak or a little tiny wording change that can make all the difference. And when you know more, you do better and you have more confidence, and that comes across in how you talk to people. So just want to encourage you with that. I will put the wording, yes, for those messages in the chat also. Really quickly, I'm going to have Chelsea share. She's game. Chelsea is a sweet friend. I've known her. Actually, I still remember when her mom had her dad, I think, wasn't your dad overseas when your mom had you? I remember my mom's like, oh, Tanya had the baby. So she's my sister Teresa's age, and we're from the same tiny town. So there's a lot of girls on the team that we all know each other because we grew up in this little tiny farm town in Illinois. So Chelsea went Ruby at the end of September. It was an exciting wake up, and she's going to just share a little bit of her journey.
Hi.
Yay.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. So, yes. My team went Ruby at the end of September, which was exciting. And one of the biggest things that I can think to share is just, I looked at my back office on the 23rd, and I think I talked to Justin, and I still needed 31 orders to hit Ruby. And that's a lot, and it was overwhelming, and I didn't know how I was going to make it happen. But just not backing down from the challenge, which I had done for like the past 3 months. I had gotten really close and just thought, no, I'm not going to hit it. I'm not going to make it. And another one of the biggest things was that I openly shared, well, I just kind of told everybody that I was working towards it. Which I hadn't done yet. I shared that on my personal Facebook wall as well as with my team, and that just really made it more tangible for me to work towards. When you tell people, hey, I'm going to hit this, or I'm working towards it, when you don't make it, I wasn't afraid to not make it, but it just made me push a little bit harder. Like I'm better at showing up for other people than I am at showing up for myself. So I wanted to make that happen for my team. I think a lot of you have probably heard my story, but I started back in, I joined back in July of 2018, and I started the products because of migraines. And it took me 2 years to actually try it. Megan just kept following up with me and reaching out to me. And for 2 years, I just asked questions, and I had a reason why I couldn't try it. So finally, when I got miserable enough, I jumped in, and I actually took the products for about 9 months before I was ready to personally share. So another thing, just keep following up with people, because you just never know when the time's going to be when they're ready to open up and share their story. I did not want to sell anything, and I think I told Megan that multiple times. But what it came down to was like all the people around me that I love, my friends and family, were complaining about some pretty major health issues. And here I was seeing making major strides in my own journey with migraines. And I was reading all these posts about people feeling better. And I felt like I had an answer and I wasn't sharing it. So that's what kind of compelled me to start sharing. We had an event and I went silver and super silver pretty quick within the first couple months of sharing. I think I started sharing in April of this year. It was actually, I went gold in July, and then it took me 9 months before I went senior gold. It was more, I needed to learn how to develop people under me. And I was really good at recruiting, but not necessarily good at retention and encouraging people to continue to order. So that was kind of a learning curve for me there in those 9 months. And then as I started to have people on my team catch the vision for sharing with their family members and seeing their own health testimonies, then things really kind of started to explode. Went senior gold in April of this year, and then 4 months later hit Ruby. So lots and lots of things happening. The biggest things that have helped my team, I would say, whenever I sign someone up, I immediately send them like the getting started guide. And then I just encourage them to let me know when their box comes in. And as soon as they send me that message, I have these videos that I have made up where I personally, like it's a video of me and I'm showing them how to manipulate the website, like how to place future orders. I explain the importance of perks, and I show them like how to add things to their subscription and to remove things rather than canceling it, because I think a lot of people do that. They go in and cancel things right away. So just showing people how to use the website has been really beneficial for me in retaining people, showing them how to edit their subscriptions and things like that. And also I do that for most of my level ones. For my downlines, like level 2s and such, I just send a welcome video. Again, it's just me like, hi, my name's Chelsea. You may not know me. I'm part of your Plexus team. I just share a little bit about my story and then just encourage them that they can ask me questions along the way. And that's been really helpful too. And then I have a huge blessing on my team. Her name is Julie Folsom, and she is like my tech guru. And she created this, it's a OneDrive folder where we share all of our information back and forth, whether it be videos or like group templates and posts and things like that. So that's been really beneficial for my team too. And we're going to continue adding our business builders into that folder. So that's pretty much it for me, I think.
That's awesome. So do you do like a YouTube video that you recorded, or is it just like a less than 3-minute video that you send through Messenger for your welcome video?
For my welcome video, it's just like a video I send through Messenger. I think Julie has a couple recorded that she did on YouTube. And my ones for navigating the site, I do those through Messenger as well. It's actually 3 like 2.5-minute videos that I send.
Yeah. So just FYI, guys, if you're going to record a personal video of yourself to your phone and then send it through Messenger, make sure it's less than 3 minutes. Otherwise, Messenger will not send it. And then Stephanie asked a question about, do you send that video via text or email?
For which one? For the
probably. Well, do you message?
Probably my level 2s and such, Stephanie. I send that one via email because a lot of times I don't know them personally, like to know their Facebook profile or things like that. So if I know them, I'll send it to them in Facebook, but if not, I send it via email.
Mm-hmm. And I will say one thing that's been working for me is just layering. So we do send out like Flowdesk emails, welcome emails to our whole entire team, to anyone new that's joined our team. and then we'll often follow up with either a text or a Facebook message if we know them personally. But the phone numbers are all in the back office, so that's a great way to layer contact also, is just to text as well, because I feel like I get a better response from texts than I do emails. I really appreciated what you said just about that it's a process and that's a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
You were one that went to corporate. Was it last summer? Yeah, last summer we went. And did that make an impact on you to just see Plexus, like the behind the scenes, the customer service department, the product, just hear people chat?
Yeah, absolutely. It was like another world, which I don't really know what I expected, but it kind of reminded me of what I would picture Google as being. It was just like really fun and open, and everybody like loved their job, which people can tell you that, but until you actually see it in person, like it was just incredible. And then there was free Plexus products all over the place for people who worked there to take. Like, I just thought that was really cool. Like, they truly take the time to make it an enjoyable place to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so fun. I was going to ask you too, can you explain the Getting Started guide? Why am I having a blank on where that's at or what it is?
There's an album in the One Team, on the One Team page. It says, I think it's called like Welcome Pack Getting Started Guides, and it just has all of the welcome packs, and then it shows your ambassadors how to take the products, which there's a couple of them that I have tweaked a little bit, because I like to recommend people take their BioCleanse and ProBio 5 at night together. I've just found that people have an easier time remembering to take them, but those things are easily tweakable.
Okay.
And then another, sorry, go ahead.
We clashed. Sorry, I'm remembering now. So there are graphics on the team page. It's a whole album full of starter directions. So make sure if you're not sending those out to your new ambassadors that you're definitely doing that. And I actually, I don't send emails anymore for level ones. I literally just send them to them via Facebook message or text and tell them, to message me when their products come. I totally interrupted you for what you were going to say next, Chelsea.
Oh, it's okay. I was just looking at my notes. Another thing that I like to do now is I ask people to take a selfie when they get their products, and then just to jot down like changes that they noticed along the way. I've had a lot of people take their products for a year or so, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm ready to share. But they can't always remember like where they started and how far they've come. So just encourage you to ask people for feedback along the way. Even small stories are huge for other people to hear, especially if it's people that they know. And also just present the business right off the bat, because we have the Fast Start program, which is huge. It's new, and it's making a really big impact on our team, I know. And you don't have to present it like, hey, here's a business. I like to say like, I call it a referral bonus, just so it's not like, hey, sign 3 people and start your own business. It's like, I know you just joined. If you can think of a couple people who might like to try it with you, we have this really cool referral program, and you would make X amount of dollars. And I've seen a lot more success that way, presenting it in like a more laid back fashion. Don't say the word business.
Unless you've recruited someone specifically for the business, most people are like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations. That's so exciting.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we're going to turn it over to Hannah really quickly because she just went senior Ruby, which is exciting. Hannah, are you on?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
There you are. Yep.
Yeah, I'm here. Yay. Oh, I love these team calls. It's really like such a highlight of the month. And what a blessing, Chelsea. Thank you for sharing. I love that idea of your own videos, because I send videos for getting started and all of that, but your own is such a great idea. So thank you for sharing that. So yeah, we went senior Ruby, my team and I, and it really was such a team accomplishment, because September was weird for me. It wasn't a huge month. I signed 5 level 1s. I was like, gunning for that 6th, and like it didn't happen. But at the very end of the month, all month long, it was kind of like, oh, I'm pulling, and doing a lot of like digging into the back office. I got a few white lines started again, which was a blessing. I worked, consistently on the momentum page with the IPA challenges every day, and that was good to stay on track and focused. But the big push came with a lot of prayer, and right at the end of the month, I did an incentive for my team, and we did like free sign up for people, and there was that 10% off code that was working. So in the last like 3 days of the month, like 3 builders on my team added like, I think it was like 25 people, and so that really gave me the push to go over the 750 that was needed. So it was such a surprise and such a blessing. So I think the main thing has just been consistency with my team, like checking in every day with my builders, and really working on retention as well. Not assuming that people are, knowing what to do and tweaking their own products, like that people really do need to be checked in on a regular basis. That's been big for me. And also, like Chelsea said, letting people know right away, there's a referral link that you have, and right away you can make this much if you have friends that want to feel better with you, family. So that's been big. And like just those small, like you say, the small pivots in language has been really helpful for building momentum, continued momentum. I was concerned that I wouldn't even maintain Ruby. So this, the systems really work. And I'm just blessed. I'm so thankful for my team that, I prayed for a long time that I would have a team that would really catch the vision. And I do. And I pray for them every day. We pray for each other. And I know maybe some of them are plugged in tonight, I'm not sure, but Katrina Newton and Robin Stiers in particular worked really hard. So I'm so thankful for them. And my dear friend Tara Sposato went gold. She's been working for a long time. So it's just such a blessing to see others reach their goals, while we're also reaching our own. I love, love, love that. So yeah, that's what I got. And I am working on Emerald now, and wow, it's like it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. But yeah, it's just doing the same things and growing in skills. I love it. So
awesome. So Hannah's going Emerald by December 31st, 2020. That's the goal. That's the plan. So that's exciting. Just exciting. What a great call. Because, and one thing I want to point out, just that something that Chelsea has said and something that Hannah both have said, teamwork. Mm-hmm. So I can't stress this enough, and I've said it before, I don't know, a lot of times over the last 5 years, but Plexus is a team sport. Like, this is not an individual athletic event. This is a team sport. And so I love hearing these things about my team and I went Ruby. My team and I went Senior Ruby. I think that's the right perspective, because this is a team, like I said, this is a team sport. And one thing is too, and Chelsea had talked about it, is that she went to her team, and Hannah's doing the same thing. She's talking with her team, in constant communication with the team and asking questions. And Chelsea went to her team and just asked them, like, hey, I have a goal and I need 31 or 35 people. So a lot of times I think that we think about that like, well, I don't want to bother people, or I don't want to, you're not bothering anybody. Most people on this, at least this team, maybe not every team is structured this way, but as far as one team go, for the most part, people want to help each other. That's the amazing thing about this team. I think that this team, if you look at all the numbers of all the diamond teams throughout Plexus, I think that we have a leg up on a lot, if not all, of the diamond teams in Plexus, and it's because double diamond team. So, it's because of this team. I think the teamwork attitude and asking for help if you need help. Asking for help is not, I think we think sometimes that it's a sign of maybe weakness or whatever. Actually, it's a sign of strength to tell someone your goals and say, hey, I need some help to hit my goal, that's a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness, especially in the event of a team sport. Team sports, you need everybody pulling together. You don't want to be like LeBron James the other night, walk off the basketball court crying because you're a loser. Sorry. That's not what Plexus is like. We're more like Michael Jordan, right? The true greatest of all time. Sorry, LeBron fans. Mike never walked off the court. Anyway, this is a team sport and a team effort. So I love everybody that has shared tonight, and I just like the fact that you're talking about those things from a team perspective. What a great call, especially for people who are pushing for their own goals and for those who are building their teams and those who are just starting. What a great call for you guys to be on tonight.
Well, and the fact that you verbalize what your goal is, and when you let other people know, you let your family know, you're praying about it, you let your team know, you put it out on Facebook and share that scary goal. A lot of people will cheer you on. I mean, some people will order just so that you get the trip or so that you hit your goal, like because they want to help. Okay. But it is scary, but when you verbalize that, it sets something in motion. And also the fact that there's so many more people pulling for you and encouraging you, and they believe in you. They're like, oh my word, yeah, you'll totally hit that goal. Even when it looks like you're down 30 orders a couple days away and you're like, how in the world am I going to make this happen? You know, so it's crazy how that works. So learn from my mistakes, because I did not share any of my rank up goals until Sapphire. I did not want to share goals because if I didn't hit them, I did not want anyone knowing that I didn't hit them. So, all right. I did want to mention a couple of things. So in terms of up leveling the last 90 days of 2020, I want to encourage you guys to train yourself. Get involved in some sort of training. We offer the Momentum Makers. It's a small group mentorship. It's going to kick off next week. We have 3 check-ins each week. There's some great files to print off. Messaging Bible, your messaging handbook, which will come in handy during the power hours because there's literally messages for every sort of message that you're going to send. You'll also be able to see like, oh, there's different demographics of people that I should be looking at. There's also a checklist if you're a checklist person, which if you're in Plexus and you're working a business and you have goals, you have to become a checklist person. And that little checklist to print off will help you stay systematic and strategic in working your business, so you make sure that all areas get the little check mark, right? If you're not going to do our little mentorship training, make sure you're plugged into your team, or I know Brooke Hemingway is doing some stuff, so make sure you're plugging into something. I know Tamara Holloway is offering like last 90 days training. Yep. Just plug in and I would just say do one thing and stay consistent with that. And then I did want to mention that there, in light of the last 90 days, it kicks off the last quarter, meaning those Consistency Club prizes reward you for maintaining and growing your rank. Okay, so remember, if you're not growing, you're dying. Okay, so there's ways to grow to maintain, and there's also ways to initiate growth to rank, right? Or there's growing to initiate growth. But if you're not adding at all, you're going to end up going backwards at some point. So I just want to encourage you, don't let the month end like one person away from maintaining your rank. Really work hard if you're more on the struggle bus of maintaining rank, to really set that a goal so you grow enough to maintain rank. If you want to rank up, then you'll have to really work harder to initiate more growth in your team. So also remember, product of the month this month is Joyome. So be chatting about that on your Facebook wall and your stories. Add it to your subscription so you get those extra perk credits. Be talking to your teams about that. Also remember, we help the pay point by having over 200 PV. So anyone that you can help to get that 150 PV threshold for wholesale people, anyone that's working a business, you really want to be having a substantial amount of personal volume every month. Anything that you give away is a write-off. Don't forget about that. And that helps the pay point. I also wanted to mention really fast before we pop off that we have that, sorry, I think I called it 369 incentive. It's not 369. It's, what did you say?
136.
136.
It's changed up a little bit this month, so
And
pay
there's some
attention to that.
really fun prizes. So
Right.
if you're, working to go to Leaders Retreat, you're working to lead by example, work on adding enough personal level ones that you hit those little incentives that Plexus puts out. 1, it's a good example. 2, it grows your level 1 base. 3, it's healthy for your business. 4, you help more people, right? And it's just a good thing. Also, if you're working towards Leaders Retreat, that's why I mentioned personal sponsoring and duplication, because those are the ways you win for Leaders Retreat.
Right.
And so you need to be looking through also in your back office to figure out who can rank on your team, okay? Because anyone that you help rank up gives you points. It also helps them make more income, which is always a win. And that income is tied to helping more people, right? Make it your highest month ever for recruitment if you're going for Leaders Retreat prizes or even getting in the door at Leaders Retreat. And then duplicating, helping people get a +1, helping people go silver. Those are keys to Leaders Retreat. Did anyone have any specific questions about Leaders Retreat?
No.
Hector doesn't have any questions.
No questions about Leaders Retreat.
No, I just want to say something. I just got this. I don't know if you see it.
Collagen.
There you go.
I think I gotta try this because I'm 42. I don't know. I might have some wrinkles, but I'm gonna try it because since you're in the business, you gotta try it.
Mhm.
I mean,
Right.
you gotta try all kind of products the Plexus is offering, because I mean, if you don't know how it feels, then how you gonna sell it?
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I've been sharing with my team in Mexico, because mainly I had the team in Mexico in here, and honestly I didn't want to interrupt anybody. I want to go at the end, and I want to show you what I done here. This was my plan last month. Somebody told me that this is like a Chinese writing or something, and I was like, it's not a Chinese writing, it's a plan. And in the middle,
Mexican plan.
yeah, inside this plan, I know it looked like a Chinese writing and everything like that, but I have a lot of people committed to hit their goals. I end up with 13 silvers this month, which they're happy about getting about $300 around that. And I ended up with 4 super silvers, which is senior silvers here, 1 gold, and myself 10 to Megan, and we went to all this error fixing in Mexico. I went to senior gold. I feel so happy about it. But it's been so, the last 4 days of September, I was crazy because I wasn't sleeping well. Honestly, I was going to bed at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And I was, let's go enter, because I'm being the secretary for everyone. Because in Mexico, we have a lot of people who want the product, but they don't know how to handle a computer or a phone, so it's been a kind of a challenge to me, which I like it, because I'm one of those guys that like to be challenged by whatever. So I wanna kind of share what I done, because honestly, we have a best team over here, and I honestly, my writings, I can see I have seven steps that I follow this month and the last month. The first month for me was like learning. I'm still learning, but I clear my mind saying, you know what, I have a goal with a deadline. I mean, and honestly, that worked, because if you don't have a goal and have a deadline, you don't know where you're going, and you don't know when it has to happen and where to push harder to make it happen. So another thing that I always use in business is you must have a definite desire to do things, and a burning desire to do things. Because if you don't have this burning desire, to me, this month was like 250 points to get to senior silver. Last month was like I think 100. So I'm talking about 150 more. So like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna make it happen. And I started talking to people in Mexico, like, we have to push. We have to push. We have to talk to people. We have to go drive and visit these people and collect cash, go and deposit. Honestly, I don't know how many accounts we use, but we were crazy signing in people. And my niece told me, because my niece Veronica, she's very a good leader. She told me, Uncle, I know you're doing most of the stuff because we're signing stuff. You're providing the people and all this information, but you know what? I want to help you. Yeah, but you're so busy that we're gonna end up with nothing. So we had to keep with our team, in a good. I have my son with me, which is Jason Nungaray. He got to senior silver this month, and he's happy. But he was the one typing, typing names, typing all these, where it's going, who's paying. So honestly, at the end, I ran to the bank. I ran to Wells Fargo because we were missing maybe 9 points or so. I ran 3 minutes before the deadline, which was 9 for me and 9 p.m. Pacific time. I ran to the bank and I deposited the last $100 because somebody's card didn't work. So I was like, oh my God. So we had to go and I had to put the money in my bank account because I know the money was coming, but I had to deposit this money and sign up 3 people at the very end. It was that last 4 minutes. Everything was in the process, but we didn't have the money. So honestly, I was at the bank and I called my son. Hey, click send. I mean, he was in my house just waiting for me to give him the okay, and I was at the bank just making the transaction. So honestly, it was a challenge. Thanks to those 9 points, I think I'm a senior goal. But yeah, it was a challenge, and I have all these steps that I already sharing with you. You got to know your plan, the compensation plan. You need to know by brain, because if you don't know the compensation plan, and when somebody is asking you, okay, what is gonna take me to silver? If you don't know how many points, if you don't know how many people, it's very hard to let them know. Okay, you're gonna be within the 30 days. You need to sign up. If you want to make $300 or 6,000, 5,000 pesos, what I tell people in Mexico, if you want to make 5,000 pesos within the 30 days, then you have 3 people in. If you want 15,000 pesos, which is over here, maybe it's 750 or so, I don't know. You need to have your 3 original ambassadors signed up with 3 each of them. That way you get the 15,000 pesos, which is really good within 30 days. So I've been learning all this. You want to get more money, then you have to work more, and you have to go and pitch people. You need to have a great hook, a great story, and a great offer. And we do have it in Plexus. So to me, honestly, I'm so busy selling cars. Right now I was driving home and I stopped. I'm going to go in live. And I want to share this with you because I'm telling you, this is a Chinese, right? I don't know how you call it, but this is what I wrote. And I started from top, myself, to the bottom. Somebody told me, it's a pyramid. I don't know how you call it. It's a multi-level for me. And I was honestly checking all this every day. Okay, this Nayeli, Tanya, who needs to be a silver? Who needs to be a super silver or senior silver? So I worked all this month, and I'm talking only the last 2 weeks. Okay, I didn't work the whole month because I was getting people ready with cash, and that was my main concern. Okay, you have the cash, you're ready for your team, you have the people, and then we start working. So honestly, I will, for everyone who's thinking about Mexico's market, I'm gonna share a video that I made personally, making a really good explanation on how to get there. It helped me a lot. It helped the team. And I'm using WhatsApp because people like WhatsApp in Mexico more than Facebook and all that. So I believe for Mexico, WhatsApp works the best. And having a great video where you explain how to get to silver, how to get to senior silver in gold or whatever. Because I don't know the rest. I don't know diamond. You are the pros here as a diamond. So I'm going to get there one day. But for now, I know how to explain how I'm getting to senior silver. I mean, a gold. So this is what I know now. Maybe later I'll explain how to become a diamond. But for now, this is what I can share. And I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm telling you, I'm learning a lot. In one of the best things that I'm gonna share with you, every time you talk to somebody, or you have or you have a live like this, what I do is I call the people and say, you know what, what do you think about this? I'm so excited, or during that call, I call with excitement, and I call them and say, hey, what do you think about this call? Are you ready to become a silver? Are you ready to become a senior silver? And are you interested? Yes or not? And I shut my mouth, because whoever answers, he loses, So they answer yes or not. That's my actual answer for a follow-up later, or to say, are you paying with Visa, MasterCard, American Express? And then boom, close. Later on they know, sorry, I closed you that way, but now they know how to get there. So a close, having a lot of clauses, different, like an arsenal of clauses, is very important to have it as a script. If you don't know it, study it. And one thing that I'm learning during business, not only Plexus, is that don't focus on one person, because sometimes we get stuck with one person. One person, we say, oh, she's not signing up. I already did the follow-up and it didn't work, and you kind of get frustrated, Don't do that, Focus on the forest. Don't focus on one tree, because if you focus on the forest, you know how many options you have. So that's what I do. I don't focus on one tree. I focus on the forest. Okay, this prospect didn't want to sign this month. Maybe I'm gonna leave it open for next month or for next week, and I go focus on the rest of the forest. And honestly, that works, because it opens my mind to the biggest opportunity I have with Plexus, and not just one person. And yes, I fix things like, hey, I didn't get to silver, or the system hasn't updated, or I keep getting calls. No worries, no worries. It's gonna adjust. Even myself, I'm not a senior goal leader because something's going on, but I'm gonna adjust it. Plexus is working on it. We have a lot of people signing in. Products in Mexico run out. I'm talking about, we have 3 packages. One with the VitaCleanse, the ProBio 5 or 5 here, 5 over there. They ran out in some places, so they told me, you know what, we have only one option. It's one package. And people are like, well, but I want the shake. I want the protein. And you know what? What can you do? You gotta, let's sign in this month, and next month you're gonna get the products. We work with all these challenges. But I said to what I like to share is, like, never give up. Keep thinking, I'm gonna make it. You keep the burning desire that you can do it. And that's what I do. I was at 240, 230 points. And I'm like, I need 20 more. Let me go around. Let me see my team. And then I keep calling, following up. I didn't have time to nobody. I didn't have time to post what my son is having. My son was suffering with pains, and I gave him ProBio Fit, and I gave him VitaCleanse, and a week after he was good. And I said, hey, son, we got to share this. Megan telling me that we got to share this. I didn't have time for that, but I'm going to make those posts so we have a lot of more stories, so how Plexus is working. And 1 and 2 and 3 points, hook, we need to have the hook. The story, we need to have the story, and the offer. That works for me. That's all I can share. Sorry, I talked too much.
No, thanks for sharing. That was awesome. And you guys are doing a great job. Because signing up is one thing, but you're signing up and you have people duplicating, meaning you're signing up, and then the people you're signing up are signing up other people. And that's how this ball gets rolling really fast in Plexus. So you guys are doing a great job. I was just talking to Jorge down at this week. I was talking to Jorge down in Guadalajara at the Plexus corporate office. And so trying to put together an event down there here in the near future. So we need to talk about flying down there and seeing what we can do with the team.
Right now, yeah. I'm in.
Cool.
Let's try to make it happen.
Yep.
But I thank you. I thank you for all the opportunity, because honestly, I never done. had like experiences, doing multi-level, but not with a great product like this, because right here I'm taking my Slim and my Active, honestly, and I'm about to test that Yoyomi. I don't know how this works. I haven't even checked it out. I'm gonna try it. I'll see what happens. I'll let you know later.
Yeah, all your wrinkles will disappear overnight, probably.
Don't worry. It's just experience that it's growing there.
Don't forget to take your before pictures.
All right, I'm gonna take my before and after.
Okay. Well, hey, we got to sign off.
All righty.
We got to sign off. So
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Hector. It was awesome. Awesome.
All righty. Congratulations, everyone. Looking forward to a great month. Have a great night, guys.
See you guys. Thanks.